Well, George, meet the grandmother.
Hello, George.
Why, it's Marlene Dietrich.
Yes, it's some grandma, huh, George? George, pop your eyes back in your head.
Oh, well, excuse me for staring, Miss Dietrich, but those are pretty shoes you have on.
But I'm not wearing them on my knees.
It's hard to believe that you're a grandmother. You're so young.
I'm not as young as you think, Mr. Burns. I'm old enough to be your daughter.
I hope so.
I explained the situation to Marlene, George, and she'll go along with the gag as a personal favor to me.
Yes, it sounds like a lot of fun. Besides, it's time I did something for Bill. I've said no to him so often.
I'll bet you have.
And to make Gracie really jealous, Marlene is going to pretend that she's fallen in love with you.
Well, do you think Gracie will believe that Marlene Dietrich could fall for me?
She should believe it.
Really?
Yes. I've heard she's a little peculiar.
It's a nice TL.
Say, I think I just heard Gracie come in the front door. I'll go and usher her in.
Well, I'm back at last, Bill. Is George all right?
Oh, he's fine, Gracie.
Did you find a grandmother to sit with him tonight?
Oh, yeah, she's with him right now.
Ah, that's sweet. I must go in and say hello to the dear little thing. Well, hello there, grandmother. Now, don't get up. Grandmother. Well, grandmother, what long, beautiful legs you have.
Yeah.
The better for men to see me, my dear.
Oh, now, wait a minute. You're Marlene Dietrich. You're no grandmother.
But I am. My daughter is married and has a child.
Judge, does that make her a grandmother?
In this country, it does.
I expected to find a little old lady with her knitting.
I love to knit. As a matter of fact, I knitted this dress I'm wearing. It took me weeks.
Yeah, I can see you put a lot into it.
Well, now you can go to the Uplifters pageant, Gracie, and don't worry. Marlene will do things for me.
Like what?
Well, first I thought I would rub his chest with camphorated oil.
Yeah? I mean, yeah.
I think I'd better stick around.
But why?
Well, you might not be able to find things.
Don't worry. I'm sure I can find the oil. But before you leave, I wish you would point out his chest.
It's right under this button. Run along, Gracie.
Yes. Why do you hesitate, Mrs. Burns? Don't you trust your husband alone with me?
Well, sure I trust him. It's you I'm worried about.
Me?
Well, yes. George can resist you, but can you resist George?
I'll force myself.
A beautiful woman like you is an unlighted powder keg, and George is just the punk who can light it.
Now, look, Gracie.
Well, whatever you do, don't look into his eyes, Miss Dietrich. Once you've gazed into those twin pools of passion, you're a goner.
Really?
Yeah. The blue one isn't so bad, but watch out for that little red one.
Mr. Burns, your wife has been gone for quite a while. I don't think our little scheme to make her jealous is working.
Oh, don't worry, it will.
You know, I really shouldn't stay here.
It scares you to be alone with a man like me, huh?
Yes, what would I do if you collapsed?
Yes, that's what scares you, I see.
Well, I'm back. How are you feeling, George?
Just fine, Gracie.
Yes, your husband has been making a lot of progress.
George Burns.
She means my cold is getting better.
Oh. Tell me something. Has George sung to you?
Why, no. Can George sing?
Can he sing? Well, he's got the world's most convincing voice. You know that song of yours? See what the boys in the back room will have?
Yes.
Well, when George sings that, everybody runs for the back room.
That's true.
Let me hear you sing, George.
All right.
I'm writing her a letter to Virginia where I met her. And now I feel better 'cause I know I'm going home.
Well, Marlena, what do you think?
Which way is the back room?
That's a different song.
Oh, Judge, please don't sing anymore. I'm afraid Marlena will swoon.
I'm a little worried myself. George, suppose I sing a song for you.
I'd love it.
All right. Now imagine that you hear an orchestra.
Say, I am hearing it.
Falling in love again, never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't help it. Love's always been my game. Play it how I may. I was made that way. I can't help it. Men cluster to me like moths around the flame. And if their wings burn, I know I'm not to blame. Falling in love again, never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't